While it starts off shaky, quite literally in the action scenes, with some bland pacing, camera angles, and dull dialogue delivery, Black Panther goes on to introduce us to charming new characters with attitude, an interesting tribal culture, the wondrous world of Wakanda, a fresh African aesthetic and landscape, cool, though ridiculous, technology, and then kicks into high gear with imposing villains, particularly Michael B. Jordan as Kill Monger, who proves to be the heart of this movie. Most importantly, the tone. Black Panther is a much appreciated return to form for Marvel Studios, ditching the constant humor, bringing the scale of the threat to a personal level, and providing real stakes with twists and unflinching character deaths. This movie strikes a better balance between endearing levity and seriousness. And because I cared about the characters and had seen the villains resolve, the film's climax is one of the most energetic and engaging in a Marvel film. It's not amazing or revolutionary. It's unoriginal, predictable, and inconsistent, especially the CGI. But it's also a pleasant surprise. Black Panther feels like it came straight out of Marvel Studios' Phase 1 lineup. This is more like it. Improve on this. This review will contain spoilers for Acts 1 and 2. A timestamp for my rating and pros-cons chart is in the description. Black Panther takes place in the fictional country of Wakanda, Africa. Many centuries ago, the land was struck by a meteor filled with the most rare and precious metal on Marvel's Earth: vibranium. 4 African tribes came together to protect its secret properties. Believing it was sent down from the Panther god, they used its heart herbs to select a king. A 5th tribe was outcast for refusing to bow down to said king, who was dubbed the first Black Panther. Over the years, Wakanda utilized the vibranium to advance their technology far beyond the rest of the world, but kept their knowledge within their own borders. After the present-day death of King T'Chaka, Wakanda's tribal council is left uncertain whether Prince T'Challa is ready to rule. Meanwhile, Ulysses' Klaue is hunting down their vibranium for black market weapons profiteering. In tow is Klaue's deadly new recruit, Kill Monger, whose eyes are set on taking control of Wakanda. I'm not sure how much I enjoyed the first third of Black Panther because I couldn't give it my full attention. First, there was a high-pitched tone constantly emitting from one of the left speakers. I plugged my ears. Nope, I wasn't losing my hearing. I asked my friend and he was like, oh, yeah, it's just a faint hum. It was not faint to me, leading me to speculate that the noise was in the upper 1,000 teens of frequencies, which adults tend to lose over time. Will anyone on the theater staff ever notice it? If you try to tell them, they look at you funny and say they didn't hear anything. Frightening stuff. Additionally, 2 ladies came in late during a nighttime action sequence using their phone flashlights to find their assigned seats, which had a backlit number anyway. Moreover, they were on the very end of the 2nd row. Totally unnecessary. They plopped down in my left peripheral vision. Then, one of them was amused like a child to learn that her phone could light up the screen, smiling and giggling while pointing her flashlight at the movie. She was considerate and stopped shortly after, before going on to loudly chat and use her phone on the brightest setting. At the same time, a little boy was briefly allowed to run down to and open the exit door, brightening the whole auditorium with sunlight. All of this during a quiet, nighttime action scene. Throughout the whole movie, anytime there was a lower volume talking scene, I'd have to plug my ears to drown out the 2 ladies or that ringing noise. Not the best of conditions. From what I could tell, Black Panther starts off pretty rough. The prologue sequence was very flatly shot, the performances were kinda stiff, and everything was underplayed. Another digitally de-aged actor in a flashback opening. After it was over, I wondered, what was the point? Well, it turns out it has a big significance, which frustrated me. It needed some oomph. This is a family drama betrayal. We see more of the scene later on, but they didn't give us enough of the goods up front, making it seem like a shrug and leaving it to hang there meaninglessly until over an hour into the movie. Next, the heir apparent, Prince T'Challa, is being teased and slighted by his guardswoman and flipped off by his sister, Prince Shuri. This belittling rubbed me the wrong way initially, but it proves to be a healthy family teasing and a way to set up T'Challa's character arc. Unfortunately, this is where Black Panther suffers the most. T'Challa's preparedness to be a strong king in his father's wake is called into question, and he must grow grow into the new age leader Wakanda needs. T'Challa has his own self-doubts, listens to some politics from the council, and is taught a lesson in controlling his rage, which he already learned in Captain America's Civil War. But King T'Challa is never truly conflicted or tested until Killmonger arrives, over an hour into the film. Then, there is no time for T'Challa to learn from his mistakes. Instead, he just becomes who he needs to be, so the film can jump to its climax. There's a huge trade-off in the story structure here. Black Panther is an origin movie and spends its first half introducing us to the world of Wakanda, letting us spend time with and go on an adventure with fun new characters. But as a consequence, T'Challa and Killmonger's story is put on hold and then rushed later on. Additionally, it seems like most of the acting went towards nailing the African accent while forgetting to inflect and emote like they would with their normal voices. An example that stood out was when Councilman Wakabi dryly states how his family was killed by the mountain tribe. Overly staccato delivery that doesn't flow naturally, and it's all throughout the movie. I excused most of it as characters controlling their emotions, presenting calm appearances in political settings so as not to appear weak. But I can understand if others couldn't take it. After Black Panther's introduction in Civil War, it was one of my major concerns going into this film, and it seems it will continue into Infinity War. Engage all defenses and get this man a shield, instead of engage all defenses and get this man a shield. Where's the triumphant urgency? Is it weakness to get your people hyped? In Black Panther, the performances do improve as the movie progresses, but it's pretty rocky. Despite this, the new characters are really charming and grew on me quickly, with the standouts being Princess Shuri and guardswoman Okoye. Princess Shuri is a technical wizard with a sharp wit, the cue to Black Panther's James Bond, showing off the latest in vibranium technology, which T'Challa uses on a secret casino mission. Letitia Wright brings a playful feistiness to Shuri that's immediately endearing. After that quick flipping the finger incident, my audience loved her, and one person even professed it aloud. Likewise, Okoye, the head spearwoman of the King's Guard, is confident and strong too. She has a judgmental sense of humor, but is self-serious, providing a straight foil for comedy purposes. And she has a kick-ass theme music that pumps up when she starts twirling her spear. Something like whoop 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 whoop. That better be used in Infinity War. Both Princess Shuri and Okoye have simple, though nice character arcs revolving around their sense of duty and their loved ones. Andy Serkis and Martin Freeman just look like they're having a great time. During their interrogation scene, it completely slipped my mind that the filmmakers were giving us a Bilbo Baggins and Gollum reunion. Though I noted the apparent Dark Knight similarities and the truncated way of reaching the same conclusion. Yes, this movie brings back the villain getting captured, interrogated, and then escaping trope. Andy Serkis, reprising his role of Ulysses Klaue from Age of Ultron, is a man who loves what he does, and what he does isn't very nice. He'll murder and cause havoc with glee. There's no internal conflict here. Klaue knows what he is and relishes it. I inappropriately laughed along with him during one cruel tease that he did to a guy at a museum. He's one note, but infectious. Martin Freeman is also reprising his role from Civil War as CIA agent Everett Ross. My friend told me there's a joke online about Serkis and Freeman being the Tolkien white guys. This holds true for Everett, who mostly nods, stays out of the conversation, and says things like, "Dang," and "That is whack." Okay, not that phrasing. Eventually, the Wakandans warm up to him, and Everett does get a vital role in the finale. The rest of the supporting cast is of a high quality too. Angela Bassett, Forrest Whitaker, Daniel Kaluuya, and Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita's character Nakia is one I'm uncertain about. Her scenes early on were disrupted by all the fuss in my theater, so I could be wrong in what I'm about to say. Okoye referred to Nakia as T'Challa's ex, as in ex-girlfriend, but I never got the impression that they weren't currently dating. Nakia and T'Challa share numerous scenes together respectfully talking, with Nakia being quite supportive of T'Challa and having only minor disagreements. If she's supposed to be his ex-girlfriend because she didn't like T'Challa's politics, it didn't come across in the acting. There's no shouting or subtle frustration between the two to indicate this. It would have been nice if T'Challa learned something about himself by asking what caused the rift in their relationship. Was there supposed to be an arc here? I'm not sure. Though Nakia does bring Wakanda's main issue to the forefront. While the country is thriving because of its isolationism, some citizens and officials worry they are hurting the rest of the world by hoarding their knowledge and resources. Wakanda has much to offer and teach other countries, but opening themselves up to refugees and spreading their resources to other nations raises concerns over disturbing and tainting their prosperous, ideal way of life. It is obvious modern political allegory for those who are sensitive to such messages in their entertainment. Though surprisingly, the Wakandans are very conservative people, which you don't see as often in modern cinema. However, this movie on its own doesn't show how the world is divided, deteriorating, and in need of Wakanda's presence. It's simply told to us and assumed. Perhaps Killmonger was meant to be the physical embodiment and byproduct of said world. Michael B. Jordan as Killmonger gives the movie a slap to the face. Wake up, I'm here. Indeed, as soon as he fully entered the story, everyone in the audience started shutting up and paying attention. Even those two ladies to my left. Killmonger commands respect. He's a brutal military man, proficient in killing, marking his body for every life he's taken. Hence the name Killmonger. The man has a personal score to settle with Wakanda and plans to step forward as the strong king they need in trying times. There's intense family drama and kid-friendly Game of Thrones aspects. Killmonger is Hela from Thor Ragnarok done right. He comes in with dark revelations about Wakanda's past and actually attempts to sway the people in his favor, rather than how Hela just ruled with violence and fear. And he actually has a point to make, which the Wakandans have had lingering in their minds. Moreover, Killmonger is given a reverence and a touching, relatable backstory, which conveys the real-life tragedy of broken family units and inner-city tribalism. His upbringing and life circumstances failed him, fueling his prejudices. He's a tragic yet intimidating figure, providing some pathos and elevating the other performers around him. This is the third time Michael B. Jordan and director Ryan Coogler have teamed up, following Fruitvale Station and Creed. And I'd say they're a good match. A better version of this movie might have ditched the first half entirely and spent that time intercutting between a younger Killmonger and T'Challa, showing them growing up in very different worlds and they're developing perspectives and philosophies based on their respective environments. But Black Panther decides to hold back Killmonger and pack his story all in the second half, which lowers the potential emotional payoff. And as mentioned, T'Challa's development is cut short too. Killmonger and T'Challa bring the most out of each other, and in turn, the movie itself. Ultimately, Marvel went the safer route, starting with levity and world building to win the audience over, then giving a little taste of depth with Killmonger. During the climax, one of the two ladies to my left yelled, "Ooh, get him, Michael!" He's a villain you can kind of root for. On the other hand, he's relentless, and surprisingly kills a few characters you normally think untouchable. Additionally, despite Black Panther being a super soldier with an impenetrable vibranium suit, the filmmakers give Black Panther a weakness. This all really added to the excitement for me, specifically during the final action sequence, though I wish Killmonger had gone a little bit further to bring out the raw rage in T'Challa one last time. Yes, the finale is smaller scale, but it's involving, which makes it feel so much bigger. The action at the beginning of the film was dimly lit and prone to shaky camera work, besides a one-take sequence early on, but this finale pulled back and steadied itself. I was tapping my leg to the music and energetic cross-cutting. I cared about these characters and was on edge for their safety, even if I knew how it would end in the back of my mind. And even though the CGI was pretty cartoonish. There are so many visual effects shots, and at least a quarter of them needed more polish. Dramatic scenes are interrupted because the blurry outline around the characters reveals the green screen seams. But the effects guys were having some fun, as I noticed an homage to the Wolverine Statue of Liberty shot from X-Men 1, in addition to other types of homages, such as Shuri mentioning their technology was science, not magic, once again reminding me that they were making a better Thor sequel. Finally, the biggest strength of Black Panther is the imaginative production design of Wakanda. Granted, the audience is asked to accept a lot of advanced technology, with some of it crossing the line. I scoffed at the idea of Black Panther's suit being able to fully generate out of his sawtooth necklace, the color hologram communicators, and planes being flown without physical controls. But I remember how I dream of such things as a kid. Adding to all the video gaming CGI vibe, the Black Panther suit has the ability to charge a purple kinetic ultimate attack. The capital city of Wakanda, hidden in a camouflage dome in the jungles of Africa, is far more balanced in its construction, presenting technology that is an evolution of ideas that currently exist. Advanced magnetic trains, dragonfly copters, etc., while integrating the aesthetics of many African tribes and villages, showing a progression of history and development from mud shops to vibranium skyscrapers. It is a wonder to behold. Breaking past the gray and drab color correction, there is sunshine and vivid colors on display here, dabs of purple and gold throughout. Wakanda even has its own glowing blue dwarven vibranium mine underneath the surface. The tribe's unique cultures are well communicated in their costume design, makeup, and setting. Headdresses, piercings, face paint, carved masks, and phone microphone tops hanging from dreads. I smirked at a man with discs in his ears and lip, chuckling to myself when he spoke muffledly for the first time. I got over it quick. The mortal combat rituals and mysticism surrounding the peoples of Wakanda proves to be engrossing, making me forget that the story wasn't moving forward. Ceremonial drums and wind instruments seal the deal. All of this giving Black Panther a unique flavor in the Marvel universe, though at one point I suspected that they were advertising the River of Lights show at Disney's Animal Kingdom. Not to mention a line about Disneyland. I find myself really caring about Wakanda and the new characters, which seems essential for Infinity War. In the Marvel tradition, there are two post-credits scenes. The mid-credits scene is actually an essential plot point in this film and should have been the second to last scene in the movie. The end credits scene is an expected cute nod to a lingering question. All in all, Black Panther is more the same, with new decorations and a better adherence to the old Marvel recipe. A return to the more serious tone of Phase 1, though there are still a few eye-roller jokes. One involving an exploded car, and another making light of the fact that a character just ran over and killed a guy. If you're not impressed by the fresh look and new characters, then you'll be left with a predictable plot, interesting yet underdeveloped villain and hero, hit or miss visual effects, and sometimes awkward acting and bland camera work. Not to mention some contrived conveniences. Despite all the distractions in my auditorium, I still really enjoyed it. The characters are charming with just enough attitude. The world building was good. The action was engaging, mostly in the second half, and there's a great, unexpected message about community outreach. It's a fun, vibrant blockbuster with a little heart. I give Black Panther 3.5 out of 5 stars. Don't get too excited. Read the negatives and decide if it's up your alley. I thought about giving it 4 stars, but the film is inconsistent, and I may just be writing off the high at the last third of it. I had too much noise in my theater to concentrate on the beginning's quality, and it didn't really connect with me until an hour in when Michael B. Jordan showed up. Though, it's hard to be critical when your audience is so engaged and reactionary when you hear a little boy exclaiming, "No!" during a quiet, tragic scene. It warms you up. Not sure how much I will enjoy it on my own. Your mileage may vary, but I'd be happy to watch this one again, even with its flaws. Nakia? Frick. Oh, your future self has to deal with this in editing. I'm afraid you're just too darn loud.